Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, every time you go by, there's something going on at the Y. Whenever I'm at meetings or driving by or going out to work out, although I don't work out there as often as I should, um, uh, it's a haven for people. And of course, with the residency program, which is a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, all year long project, and then of course all the athletic facilities. It virtually is very very seldom shut down. Seems like it's never shut down. Well, you don't stay around for 125 years unless you're contributing substantially whatever your purpose or mission is. And of course, the mission of the YMCA has prevailed for, I don't know, I can't tell you how long the YMCA itself has been around, but I don't think there's too many places that are more than 125 years old. And the strength of it is the strength in what it brings to the community and what the community brings to it in terms of support. The amount of money that's donated to the Y to keep it running, the participation and the membership is, 10,000 members is remarkable. It is going to be there for another 125 years, I'm sure, and I think as we look forward, I look forward to it being a sound financial institution, providing the kinds of benefits that and programs that it's done for so many years into the future. I think of it as Evanston and Evanston youth. To me, and while we serve not only Evanston but the surrounding communities. Being an Evanston guy, having grown up and been in Evanston all my life, I think of it as the Evanston YMCA, and I just think it's really represents what Evanston's all about: diversity, lots of different opinions, lots of different directions, a lot of different economic and social and ethnic diversity. It kind of is Evanston. I think this new health initiative that we have ventured into at this time, if it can do what it is hopefully can do to bring back the health of our kids, to bring back the mental and physical well-being of the community, I can't think of a bigger contribution than could be made, as well as obviously taking care of those people in need and helping everybody who maybe is not as fortunate as others financially to be able to participate and take advantage of the Y, because that's one of the things we do very, very well, is to help make sure that everybody in the community, if they want to belong to the Y, can find a way to belong. Well, for me, probably the role model that I associate with the most that was a part of the YMCA in terms of its faculty would be Roth Holtz. 6 years, 12 weeks of time, 24 hours a day, doing a canoe trip is a really interesting experience, and you learn a lot. And you sit around a campfire and talk about stuff that you might not even talk about with your parents sometimes. And I used to talk with my mom and dad a lot about everything, but Roth was very special in that way, and he very subtly would give guidance and answer questions and help you think through things. And topics would come up that probably would never come up if it weren't under those kinds of circumstances. And I think that's true probably at a Camp Echo with, when you have the cabin and a bunch of kids sitting around and a counselor that's helping them out and helping them look a little bit into the future, so that they can maybe not make some of the mistakes that we all made. It just happens by being and having this whole function taking place. It's not like a lecture. It's really more like just a system of learning. I had not been up to Camp Echo for years, and I actually went up with LaShawn, the young man that I was mentoring, and we had a weekend up there, and we all took the bus up, and we did the ropes course and spent a night, and in the cabin and eating, and that was really a special experience too. And I think back at it because LaShawn was the youngest of all the kids on that trip, and we got up there about 30 feet up in the air, and that little truss to move from one rope to the next, and he was great at it. It's really fun. We were all in this cabin. There were 4 mentors and their mentees, and LaShawn was in the bunk down below, and I was sleeping in the upper bunk. And he got scared, and he asked if he could come in and just hug me, and that was really a touching moment and really it was. You could just see that he'd not had that, and he was a little scared, and he had somebody he could come to, and that was probably the most touching moment I can remember with him. We had some good times, though. Some of us that have been lucky enough to be able to go on canoe trips and do lots of this stuff, but there are kids who have never been out of Evanston. They've never been up in the woods. They've never been canoeing. They've never been sailing. They've never been, living in a cabin. And sometimes we take that for granted, but there's a lot of these kids. LaShawn got a scholarship to go to Camp Echo one of the summers that we were together, and it was a wonderful experience for him. He was terrific up there. Loved every minute of it. I think people who know the Y, people who have participated in the Y, know why it's so special, and I think you never know why something is so special until you're lucky enough to have an opportunity to experience it. And I've had these 2 different experiences in my life, and both of them have been almost indescribable in terms of what you get out of it. Being on this board, it's the first time I've ever been on a board, and it's been a real eye-opener in a lot of ways. But I think the one thing I learn every week is that there's something new that the Y is doing of significance for the community, and that's what the Y is all about.